Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. This is the 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. And yes, you can come to Morgan Buick GMC, where I have borrowed this model from, and pay less than $83,000 for it. It is used. However, don't run away just yet. The fact that it's used doesn't mean that it has a lot of miles on it. In fact, it has less than 8,300 miles. So we're going to take a quick look at exactly what you can expect to find if you want to come and buy this truck, or if you just want to learn about this truck. If you do come into Morgan Buick GMC and buy this particular model, make sure to tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you their way. So here on the front end, one of the differences with the AT4X trim level is going to be the satin steel look with the grille. That's going to set it apart from other models of the GMC Sierra 1500. It will have the typical LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, the fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper, and something else that's unique to the AT4X trim level is going to be found right here. You're going to have the red tow hooks. That's going to set things apart from when you're pulling the Toyotas, the Fords, the Rams, the Nissans, and even the Chevrolets out of the mud. And I do like the fact that these trucks have so many different options on them for lighting. You've got the lights here built into the side view mirrors with the gloss black mirror caps. These are power adjustable and power folding side view mirrors. You also have the cab light up there to help out with things when it's dark outside. You've got the light right here. That's going to help with things as well, in addition to the in-bed lighting. I really do like that. Now, I did tell you these are power folding side view mirrors. See, I told you. So what I'm going to do is show you, I pushed the button right there. So see that in action. There we go. That's all we did was push the button. So very, very nice. A lot of great features. And let me hop inside here for just a second. I want to show you a couple of things here. Let's start the truck up real quick. Like I said, less than 3,000 miles. There's your mileage right there. I hope you can see that well on the screen. Now, one thing I want to show you, this truck does have a front view camera. So as you can see, there is the front view camera. What happens if you reach up, or you bring this up on the screen, not reach up, but anyway, if you get that up on the screen and it's dirty, what do? Well, every time you run the windshield washer fluid with this button right here where it would do that, well, what else happens? That happens. The front camera washer runs on this truck. So that might be one of the features that this truck has that you were not aware of. This truck does come with the Multimatic suspension and a 2-inch lift. You also have the skid plates, the steel skid plates on the underside of the truck to protect things like the engine, the gas tank, and so forth. But what you have under the hood is definitely not lacking in any form or fashion. You can already see right here what it is, the 6.2 liter V8. Let's see how talented I am one-handed. There we go. It makes 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and obviously this truck is 4-wheel drive. And this truck comes with the 32.5-inch tires, or more specifically put, I don't know which one's more simplified, but I'll give you all the numbers here. 275 on the width and a 65 series sidewall over here wrapped around the AT4X specific 18-inch wheels. And one of my favorite features that is not specific to the AT4X trim level, but it is here, is the Multi-Pro tailgate. It functions as a traditional tailgate, or you have a few different things you can do here. Let's see if I can do that one-handed. You have this, which is ultimately the step, but you can also use it as a bed extender, as you can see right there. But that's not all. We're going to push that button again. We're going to lower everything back down. That was something I couldn't do one-handed, so I had to change to a different scene to turn the camera off. But you can see this is your second option for the bed extender using that step. So we'll go ahead and lower everything on down. Now here's the thing, if you have a hitch in here, you don't want this coming down. So it's locked out automatically. You can see that I'm going to push the buttons right here to lower the tailgate. that's not going to happen like that. So for those who might ask about that, it's good to know that you can't do that when you have the hitch down there. So here's what we have. The step right here, it's going to have the sure-footedness of the graphite material, kind of grip tape-like, kind of like what you would have on a skateboard. And then, even though it's not necessary, I do like the fact that you have the handle right there. I don't necessarily need that, but it's nice to know that it's there for those who do want to use it. Maybe a little bit more useful when getting out, at least when you're carrying the video camera around and don't want people laughing at you for the fact that you tripped off the bed. Payload comes in at 1,420 pounds. You can tow up to 8,900 pounds. And I like the fact that with everything in its down position right here, it's a little bit easier to show you the interior of the carbon composite bed. What is the advantage of being carbon composite? Well, it's a lot more durable that way. That's a good thing. There is your power outlet. You have 12 different tie-down points, 3 in the front, 3 in the rear. On the both sides here, that definitely makes a big difference. Obviously, you're going to have the bed liner with the AT4X logo stamped into the front area right there. One of my favorite things about these trucks is the fact that they have the nice bumper step, one on each side, very deep, very easy to gain a sure-footed position here when hopping in and out of the bed if you don't want to lower the tailgate. That's a good thing. You do have the 2-speed transfer case, almost 10 inches of wheel travel in the front, and almost 11 inches of wheel travel here in the rear. And you're definitely going to get things done out on the trail or wherever you may be. The large leaf springs, the Multimatic shocks, everything is here. That's definitely going to make a big difference as far as that goes. But that's not the only place where things are nice, useful, and handy. You have a nice, large interior, comfortable armrests right here. That is a soft material. Sometimes using the poke test like this, almost like I'm testing for the doneness of a steak, that's really not adequate for seeing how comfortable the armrest is. You got to put your arm up there, something you can't actually do unless you're actually here with me. Or you go to the dealership and buy one of these trucks. Nice, large door bins. Plenty of storage space under the seats. If you need to change a tire, here are the tools to do that. Obviously, you can raise the seats up to help with cargo capacity in the rear. You also have the in-seat storage right there. The power rear window. We'll reach up here and pull on that grab handle to get ourselves into the interior of the truck. And I like the fact that if somebody's sitting here in the middle seat of this back seat area, you don't have a real tall transmission tunnel, so your legs aren't up like this if you're that person. Heated seats, the outboard seats at least, so whoever's sitting here in the middle, they'll be comfortable as far as the transmission tunnel goes, but if it's cold outside, well, you're going to have a cold butt. But if you're sitting in the outboard seats, on the outboard seats, well, you're good to go. USB connectivity, a couple of different options right there, as well as the air conditioning vents. And I know a lot of people are saying, come on, GMC, give us a panoramic sunroof. Well, that's not what you have right now, but not really a big deal, at least in my opinion. I think that the conventional size is fine. Personally, for me, I'm good with no sunroof, because with no sunroof, that means there's no gasket up there to potentially go bad and allow water into the interior. And for the most part, the door panel on the front passenger door is going to be a lot like what we saw on the rear. A few differences. Had the AT4X logo right here, so if you're passenger in the front seat says, remind me of the trim level of this truck we're riding in, well, just tell them to look right there. They'll know. You have the upper and the lower glove boxes. Let's see if I can get that to open. The upper glove box, plenty of space in there, and then the more traditional space right here with the lower glove box. We're going to have space right here, a little bit of storage space there, some more connectivity options. Obviously, space for your drinks right here, the drink holders, and the, well, either you like it or you don't, shifter here for the center console. A lot of people would rather have kind of the old school feel, more truck-like, I guess you could say, column shifter. Tell me what your thoughts are on that matter. If you have a wireless charging pad, this is where it's going to be. A lot of you might have been used to it being right here in the past. Now it's right here as of 2022 if the truck is equipped with one. And here's the lid for the console that doubles as an armrest, and there is a ton of space in there. Definitely no shortage of space, more connectivity options. not only here, but obviously up here on the center console as well. If you want to control that power sunroof that resides under the shade right here, everything to do that is here, as well as controlling that power sliding rear window that we talked about. All right, taking a look in through the driver's side door. One thing that I really think at this price point, even though it's not here, maybe not a big deal, especially if you're the driver, because it's not necessarily going to affect you, but you only have memory seat settings here on the driver's side. I think that should be over there on the passenger side as well. You know, we don't have that. One thing you also won't find here are the child safety locks, at least how you activate and deactivate those. Those are located here actually on the rear doors. Some vehicles have this, some vehicles don't. But if when it's in the down position right there, they're active. When it's in the up position like that, they are not active. There are still quite a few vehicles out there where you can activate those here on the door panel. We're going to change our driving modes here. Power parking brake, all the lighting is controlled right here, as well as your head-up display, multiple features and functionality there, a power adjustable, tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, and if you want to turn the automatic high beams on or off, that's what this button is for right here. So we'll hop inside and we'll close the door and go ahead and get things going. In fact, you can see the graphics there on the dashboard. Hopefully that gives you a good view. I know it's kind of bright right now, but there are some nice animated graphics here, so you can take advantage of that to entertain yourself while you're getting ready to start your truck or your passengers. So here we go with the digital instrument cluster, a very nice look. Not really any different than what you would normally see on these trucks, but it is here. The shifter paddles to manage that 10-speed automatic transmission. And I talked about the driving modes. Let's take a look at what they are. You've got terrain mode. Let's see if we can go back. We're going to have off-road mode, off-road terrain, normal, and I believe that is all we have. There is no sport mode, but this isn't meant to be a sporty truck. Everything's here for adaptive cruise control, and then we're going to have our functionality over on this side for whatever we want to go through, depending on what we want to know about the truck, what you want to know about the truck. I'm not going to go through everything here, but you can see what's here. I'm going to turn the volume off there so that we don't get any copyright hits from YouTube or anything like that. But you can see that you can go through quite a bit of information here. And obviously you have Google Assistant here. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I know some people get upset with me when I do because it sets things off in their house. I never thought about that, but that can actually happen. And like I said, you have the ventilated and heated seats. We definitely don't need heated today. It's heading for 80 degrees here in Northwest Louisiana. We're going to turn that up just a little bit. I am going to turn it on, make sure the fan speed is way down. Now, I'm going to reach over here and adjust what's going on with my seat. So you can see that we can actually adjust that. I'm actually using the control on the side to determine what I'm doing. You can see everything changing there on the screen. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to change the settings, you can do that. And obviously you can do that with the touch function as well. So that is always a nice feature. Just so glad to be able to turn that on. Now we did talk about earlier how we have the front camera washer, but obviously there's a lot more going on than just the front camera here. You have your overhead 360-degree view, as you can see right there. We can go to the rear view camera. We can also take a look from just a multitude of angles, pretty much every possible angle that you can imagine. They're all here, even in the bed, if you want to see what's going on in the bed. If you have somebody with you and you can't find them, they might be sleeping back there, who knows? There's a lot of things that could be going on. You can even zoom in to make sure that it's someone you actually know if someone is back there. You can pair your phone. You have all that good functionality here. Google Assistant works with pretty much everything, even with your maps. And so obviously Google Maps is here. That's a nice function. Everything is voice activated, pretty much everything. So a very nice setup here. You do have the control here, the button for starting and stopping the engine, your dual zone climate control. Everything here is easy to use. For those who have maybe never had a truck like this before and you're saying, that's a lot. I don't know if I can learn all of that. I promise you it's easy to learn. You'll be glad that you did once you do. So other than that, well, there is one more thing I do want to show you here. You have the rear view camera mirror. And for those of you who are not crazy about technology, well, if you say, I don't like that, well, guess what? You can turn it off. So that's a good thing to have. There are advantages to that. It does take some getting used to. I'm not going to lie to you about that. Once you're used to it, it's not too bad, but it does give a completely different perspective of what's going on around you behind the vehicle. But I'll tell you what, if you have somebody in that middle seat right there and you can't see out, well, that comes in very handy in that particular case. Okay, and I did want to take a second to show you the head-up display. You can change the brightness on that if you want to. I like to keep that as bright as possible. You can change its position. You can change the information that is on there. I know this probably isn't the best view, but try and give you the best view possible. Hopefully you can see that well on the screen, but it is there, and it is a nice feature that this truck is going to come with. One thing as we get on the road for our test drive that I know a lot of people may be curious about if you're not familiar with these particular trucks, with the AT4X, is going to be, well, if the truck's more capable off-road, does that mean that you sacrifice ride quality on-road? The answer to that question is absolutely not. This truck is very comfortable, very enjoyable to drive. I can't tell a difference whatsoever, so that's a good thing. That's a win-win. So to have a truck that's capable off-road that still has a good, comfortable ride quality on-road, at least for a truck, I must say, that's impressive. That's a good thing. Obviously, you're going to have good acceleration with the 6.2-liter V8. This is not the place for me to test that, but trust me, 420 horsepower will do a good job, and it's really not the place for me to test it because the Popo just rolled by. I've never had a ticket in one of these videos, and I plan to keep it that way. We're well over 1,000. I think we're almost to 1,050 videos, so we're going to keep it that way. Now, if you were curious about my personal preference on the mirror, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, if the angle allows for you to see it correctly or properly, but I am not using the rear view camera mirror option. I just have the old school traditional style mirror just because, well, for me, I'm more used to that. I like it. But you know, when you need that rear view camera mirror, it's great to have it there. Overall, this truck is very enjoyable to drive. And for a truck, it really does not only ride well, drive well, accelerate well, but it also has a good turning radius. We're going to see if we can get down the road here. Now would be a good time to do an acceleration test, especially when you have a slower moving vehicle over there in the right-hand lane. Okay, yeah, we've got plenty of horsepower. I'm going to need to slow down now. Hopefully the cop didn't turn around back there. He didn't. Don't worry. I'm kidding. You can't see what's behind me. But this is a very enjoyable truck to drive. Even though it's not a huge difference in ride height, it is nice to have a little bit more ride clearance or ground clearance so that you can see what's going on around you. I like being up off the ground, at least to a degree. I don't want to be too far off the ground. I don't want something that's a monster truck or anything like that, but I really like the fact that this truck is easy to see out of. And keep in mind, no matter what's going on around you, well, you've got those camera mirrors that the cameras, the multiple camera views all around the truck that you can take full advantage of. And I realize I'm not taking full advantage right now, but I don't want to try and mess with that while I'm here. Now, I was going to try and do a turning radius test for you, but you know what? These people coming out of this parking lot kind of ruined that. But my overall experience with this truck is that it's fun to drive. I would love to be able to take one of these off-road and really put it through its paces, but number one, there's really not a place that's anywhere close by where I can do that. And number two, I just don't know that the dealership would be happy with me if I did that, but you never know what might happen, one way or another. These trucks are fun to drive, very versatile, more of a luxury truck than what it used to be. Not only is it useful off-road, it's useful on-road, and it's useful as a pickup. So really kind of a great multitasker in a multitude of ways. So tell me what you think. $82,977 for a 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. If you can say that 5 times fast on video, I'll send you a free Vehicle Visionary t-shirt, because that's a mouthful. So here it is. That's probably the best price you're going to find on one of these trucks as a 2023 model. Tell me what you think about that. Do you plan to buy an AT4X? or maybe another trim level? Tell me all about it down in the comments section. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends here at Morgan Buick GMC. Remember to check out the link down in the description of the video if you're interested in this particular truck. And I also want to say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.